A few moments ago, I placed a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. And as I stepped back and stood during the moment of silence that followed, I said a small prayer. And it occurred to me that each of my predecessors has had a similar moment, and I wondered if our prayers weren't very much the same, if not identical. We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I, the armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And I wonder, in fact, if all Americans' prayers aren't the same as those I mentioned a moment ago. For all we can ever do for our heroes is remember them and remember what they did, and memories are transmitted through words. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise. We see them as something like the founding fathers, grave and gray-haired. But most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember.
I thank my brother Shelby for being in the U.S. Air Force.
Thank you, Uncle KK, for serving in the military and keeping me safe. You will always be my hero.
I would like to thank my Papa Ken for serving in Vietnam.
I just want to say thank you to my uncle, Bouget. He's in the Marines, and he's been in a lot of other countries, so thank you.
I'd like to thank my grandpa for serving in the Army. I'm not entirely sure when he did it, but I'd like to thank him for his service.
Thank you for being our dad.
And for serving in the Navy.
I would like to thank my grandpa who served in the Vietnam War in the Army. I want to thank my dad for serving in the military for 9 years.
Thank you to my grandpa Andy Tobick for serving in the Navy, specifically in the Pacific during World War II. Thank you to my grandma Jean Tobick for being a Navy nurse, also in the Pacific. Thank you for your sacrifice, service, and most of all, love.
I want to thank my grandpa for serving in the Navy. Thank you. We love you.
I'd like to thank my great-grandpa for serving in the Navy during World War II.
Thank you, Grandpa Mick, for fighting for us in the Air Force, and thank you, Great-Grandpa Cecil, for fighting for us in World War II.
I want to thank all of my relatives who served in the military and that are serving right now. We really appreciate you fighting for our country. I want to thank all veterans in New Palestine and all surrounding communities.
On behalf of all the New Palestine High School staff, thanks to all of our veterans for their service. I especially want to thank my father, Dan Large, who retired from the Air Force and served in Vietnam, and my brother Jake, who was also in the Air Force. He was deployed shortly after 9/11 as part of Operation Enduring Freedom. Thanks to both of you for being a great example to my family of what it truly means to serve and sacrifice for your country.
Hello, I am Jim Bowles, and I am the interim principal of New Palestine High School. And on behalf of our staff and students, I would like to thank all of the veterans out there, past and present, for your service, for protecting our freedoms, and for helping make this the greatest country in the world. Happy Veterans Day.
United States Army.
First we fight for the right to build the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the Army goes rolling along. For it's high, high, hey, and the Army's on its way. Count out your numbers loud and strong. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and wherever you go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along.
The United States Navy.
Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college shores, we sail and break the day. Through on the sky, the shore, hail to the foe. Until we meet once more, here, wishing you a happy voyage home.
The United States Coast Guard.
We're always ready for the goal. We place our trust in Thee. Through howling gale and shock and shell, to win